Talking about your lost it, couldn't believe I found it again stories in the 194 Morning Playhouse at 237. It's text 35270. Now, your story's probably not as wild as this one, though. Facebook helped a couple in Australia find their long-lost wedding footage from 57 years ago. Long-lost wedding footage, not wedding ring, wedding footage. Now, they got married in Scotland in 1967, and some random guy bought a bunch of... Now, imagine like an old-school movie projector that had those, like, spinning reels.
Okay, yeah.
It was on those, and here's the people talking about finding that footage and getting it back and being so happy.
I just couldn't believe it. What struck me was the fact that it wasn't just like a photograph. I could see my parents, Bill's grandmother and grandfather. But to keep pausing it to look at people, it was just unbelievable.
So getting that back after almost 6 decades, pretty wild, right?
That is so crazy. And then, of course, you would want to watch it right away. Like, no way is this really it.
Well, I think you'd have to sit there and just be like, man, I got to just absorb the heck out of this, because you're seeing all these faces of people that have aged or moved on. I mean, 6 decades is a long time. Families transformed quite a bit in 60 years. Well, the people that did this group did a poll, and they talked about what's the thing you lost and you found sometime later. The most common thing does have to do with weddings, but it wasn't wedding footage. It's wedding rings, engagement rings. That's the most commonly lost and then found thing.
But then, are you finding it years later? And, like, you've already bought the replacement?
That would suck. What do you do? Just wear them both then? Or what do you do?
I don't know. Which one do you wear? Which one do you have more meaning to?
Like, you lose that ring on your
would
finger
cry.
today.
Yeah.
Obviously, eventually you get a new one. 5 years from now, you find it. Would you wear both? Or would you switch out? Or what would you do?
I don't know. Do they look the same?
I don't know. I guess it depends what you and Steven decide.
I know. I'd have, there'd be so many, I don't know. I think I'd go back to the original, the OG.
Swap it out.
Yeah.
Maybe pawn one off, never tell him, hope he doesn't notice the difference.
No, he would know. He would already be upset with me for losing the first one. Now I'm pawning off the second.
I feel like we just jinxed you, put some bad karma out there.
Yeah, please don't. I don't want to.
Now, have you ever actually lost something? You're like, oh man, I can't believe I found this.
So years ago, Barnesville Potato Days, all the staff from Y94, we had different events we had to be out there for. And I had to host a children's potato sack fashion show.
Hey, I've hosted that one a couple times.
Let me tell you. Well, it didn't go great for me. I had a Steve Harvey moment, Miss America moment, where I announced the wrong winner. That's a story for another time. But as a thank you, they gave us a gift bag. And in the gift bag, someone hand sewed a potato wallet. And it is the cutest little wallet. And I loved it. I used it every day. It became my wallet for years.
I remember the potato wallet, actually, yeah.
And then I lost it for about 3 years. I had no clue where it went. And I was back at Potato Days a few years ago. Maybe it was 2021.
Okay.
And I went into the little gift shop and I said, do you guys sell potato wallets? And they were very confused. But they have potato everything. They have potato peelers that look like potatoes, whatever you want. And they didn't know what I was talking about. And then someone overheard and she said, I have fabric. I could sew you one. And she sewed it for me. And they brought it to the radio station. I still have it. I'm using it right now. Hold on.
Or I feel like you got a replacement. You didn't technically find it, though. That is cool, though. It's a cool potato wallet.
No, look it. It's the original.
Oh, wait. How is it the original, though?
I found the original and I've lost the replacement. How did that happen?
So where was the original one?
I don't know. I found it in a purse. Where is the replacement?
I mean, you realize finding a wallet in a purse is not this. Did you check your other purses?
I don't know if I had lost the purse. I don't know. I think I must have found it at some point when I moved apartments and everything, and I found the original, but I don't know where the replacement is.
That is a worn, tattered potato wallet there, friend.
But I love it.
What is that thing you found? You could not believe you found it. It was gone forever. Did you have something like that before?
Kayak fishing at one time. At the end of the day, I'm looking for my phone. I had somebody call my phone, and a little kid goes, hey, I hear it ringing. Yeah, where? It was about 3 foot in the water. It was still good after all day.
Hey, look at that.
What sonic hearing child heard the ringing underwater. No way.
You must have a very loud phone.
Yeah.
Well, it's just 3 feet down, I suppose, if it's cranked
Just
full volume.
3 feet down underwater. That kid's like, I hear it. It's near us.
You must have a very distinct ring.
Maybe. Or that
I'd
kid just
imagine.
has great hearing.
They seen some stuff they lost, couldn't believe they found it.
Yeah, someone said the first picture of our son lost it during a move, ended up finding it behind the in the kitchen behind the fridge 6 years later when we ripped it out to do a remodel. No clue how it even got back there.
You could not believe you found it. It was lost. You thought presumably gone forever. 237, it's text 3527 over the Playhouse. You lost it, thought it was gone forever, and then you found it. What happened? 194 Playhouse.
Okay, I was married about 2 years, and I went out on a Saturday to do a side job putting on a roof. Mm-hmm. But I went out to my van, and I realized my ring I didn't want to get it all tar, so I took it off and put it in my pocket. So I go do the job. I come home. Ring's not there, not in my pocket. I go back to the job. I'm looking all around. I can't find it. Mm-hmm. 10 years later, they're ripping up my street, and I go out to work, and I see a glow, and on the side of the street. I go over, and there's my ring.
How many years did you say went by?
10 years. And now I have 2 wedding rings.
That's crazy, man. That's nuts.
See, he has both of them. He didn't pawn one off.
Are you seeing some people like, oh, I found it after a long, long time?
Someone said, found my elementary and middle school diary as an adult and read it. It was hilarious. I wonder if there were people in there that you completely just forgot about.
Probably. We're just like, oh, yeah, I forgot I was all mad or had a crush on. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Someone said, lost a spare key for a car I was selling. I said it had 2 keys, so I ended up having to get a new one made. Well, the day after the new owner picked it up, I found the old key in my recliner in my living room.
You got one of these things, you lost it, thought it was gone forever, but then, oh, goodness, you found it. Oh, my gosh.
So we were scuba diving, and this lady came up after the scuba dive on the boat and was like, I've lost my teeth. My dentures are gone. So the dive masters, everybody started searching around. They're looking in the sand, all this stuff. And eventually they're like, I'm sorry, they're gone. And this lady's on vacation. I was like, oh, man, that poor woman lost her teeth. She was a little bit larger chested, and they had actually fallen into her swimsuit and found them in the girdle.
You're lying. How
That's
embarrassing.
Funny. That's funny.
That's like, you don't wear glasses, do you?
I have contacts.
Okay, but you've worn glasses before,
Yeah.
or I guess it can happen with sunglasses. Have you? They could literally be on your face, like you're wearing your glasses normally, or on your head. But when you're looking for your glasses and they're on you, and you feel like an idiot.
Can you imagine if like time had gone
Yeah.
by and they'd gone home, or she's getting like undressed for the day, and all of a sudden teeth fell out of there? That'd be so weird.
I thought it was keys.
Oh, I heard teeth. Keys makes more sense. I thought it was like dentures.
Stop! I thought they were keys.
Keys makes more. Was it
That's
keys
what
or
I-
teeth?
I don't know. But that's what once you said, could you imagine teeth falling out? Yeah, I'd be terrified. What?
Honestly?
I was looking for keys.
You probably heard it right. I thought she said teeth.
Oh my God.
It's like, how do you have dentures in there? It'd be easier to have keys in there than teeth.
I would be terrified if I got home from the beach and teeth fell out of my top.
I mean, less so if you wore dentures
Yeah.
and they were your dentures.
I guess. Someone said, I lost the middle diamond of my wedding ring. It had fallen out while I was at work, and I was looking all over the office for it. Walked into my boss's office just as they were bringing the vacuum in to clean, and I saw it sitting on the floor by her desk. Found it just before they vacuumed it up.
Listen, I'm not crazy. Everybody's texting saying she said teeth and dentures. I'm not insane. I knew she said teeth. I thought that
Stop.
was so funny.
Ew, it was teeth. I thought it was keys. That makes way more sense.
Can you imagine dentures falling out of your top? Jeez.
No.
I mean, at least they're your dentures. If it's somebody else's dentures, you're really confused.
Ew. Are we sure it was teeth? Everyone's saying it was teeth.
I think she said teeth.
Ew.
I don't know. That's phone connections, I guess. But I thought she said teeth. What'd you lose? And then you found it after a while.
It was my great-great-grandmother's wedding ring that was handed down to me. And I was working at an office, and we were doing like a purge shred day, and we were breaking down boxes and
Sure.
throwing them in the dumpster. And at some point, I lost my ring, and I retraced my steps. I looked everywhere, turned the office upside down, and couldn't find it. I went home. I was crying. I was so upset. My husband had given it to me, or presented it. He had it resized and rebanded, and it was a Christmas present from him. And it's a beautiful ring, and it was an heirloom. And so I was devastated when I lost it. So we went back later that night. It was dark, and he took out a flashlight, and we were, looking all around the outside of the office building, and he actually got in the dumpster, emptied it out, threw all of the bags and everything out, trying to see if maybe it had fallen to the bottom or if we could find it. Nothing. And finally, we're putting everything back in the dumpster and getting ready to leave, and his flashlight catches a little glimmer, and I saw it, and I walked over, and there it was. It was laying on the ground on the side of the dumpster. It was so crazy. I was so thankful. I knew that my grandmother was watching over us that night, and that she pointed us in that direction. So that was my story.
That's crazy, huh?
I would feel so guilty if you lost that. Could you imagine? I'm so happy you found it. I felt bad for her. How are you going to admit you lost this?
Haunted for life, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe someday literally haunted, depending on. Oh. Yeah. Are we seeing any final ones you want to grab before pick your purse?
Yeah, someone said, I lost my DS charger, which I couldn't find for about 2 years. Well, then I ended up finding it. But the time I found the charger, I had lost my DS when we were moving houses. I still have no clue where the DS is, but I have the charger.
Hey, but if you ever find it, you'll get to juice it up. So that's
It
good.
worked.
That's positive.